Hello everyone, and welcome to Bingham Cosplay. In this introduction video, I'm going to go over what you can expect from the channel, and then after that, I will tell you what the first project is going to be, as well as give you a list of things that you'll need for it. So, what can you expect from me? Well, I'm here to help you with cosplay. Mostly, we'll focus on making a latex mask, and I will show you two different ways of doing it, which is going to be paint on and then slush cast. Later on, I will go over things such as making silicone molds for props and other things of that nature. But mostly we're going to be focusing on masks, just because, well, to be honest, it's kind of my favorite part of cosplaying is making a mask. I've always loved latex. I can't seem to say latex. Sorry about that. I've been saying it so much that it just doesn't sound right anymore. Anyway, getting back on track. I'm going to be helping you learn how to make a latex mask, and I absolutely love them. When I was younger, I didn't really have the resources that we have today to be able to learn how to do it, or even get my hands on the supplies that I needed for making a mask. But now we do, and I want to help you with making a mask, or many masks for that matter. So as you're doing this project, keep in mind that mistakes will be made. Your first mask may not even turn out exactly the way you want it to. So when these things happen, don't get frustrated. Just relax and have fun with this. This can be a very fun project if you let it be. But just understand that you might make a mistake. It happens. It's like with anything else when taking on a new hobby. When you're not familiar or haven't done the hobby before, things happen. Mistakes are made. We're only human. So don't get too discouraged. Just keep at it, and you will see some great results with it. So, with the introduction done, what's the first project going to be? Well, it's going to be how to do a paint-on latex mask. With this, we're going to go over how to do that. It will involve a lot of patience, because in truth, this is a bit time-consuming, because as the name suggests, you're painting on the latex, the liquid latex, onto the sculpt that you've made. So, with that, let's give you the list of things that you're going to need for the project. There will be links in the description below for websites where you can find everything that you're going to need, as well as here in the video. I'm going to be mostly showing you what the different items are going to be. So let's give you that list. Okay, so the first thing on the list is going to be clay. You're going to need some clay. Now you can get either oil-based clay like this monster clay, or you can use some water-based clay like pottery clay and such. It doesn't matter which you use. You can use either one just as long as the clay you use does harden up. So that way you can paint the latex onto the sculpt. Alright, next thing you're going to need is a base of some sort. You can either get these foam mannequin heads, which are pretty easy, good for being thrown away, or you can get a plastic mannequin head. These will definitely last you longer, especially if you're using oil-based clay, because oil-based clay can be reused. Okay, so you're going to need some sculpting tools. Well, some of you might need sculpting tools. It really will depend on what you're doing for your what you're going to sculpt for your mask. So you'll have to use your best judgment. If you want to know what tools do what, I would recommend that you watch some other videos about how to use sculpting tools. I personally just kind of play with them and kind of figure out what each one does and how I might be able to use it for myself. But for the most part, I don't usually use tools, but it's all up to you because this is going to be your mask and it'll depend on what you're going to need. So definitely maybe get some basic tools for just starting out. Okay, plastic tarps or cloth, anything that you would use for putting down for like painting, I would recommend you get something like this because things can get messy, especially if you're working with a water-based clay to begin with. That can get everywhere, and with the liquid latex as well as the paints that we're going to be using, things could get messy. I'd also recommend that you have something that you wear over your clothing, or at least wear something that you won't mind getting paint and latex on, because it will ruin your shirts. So you're going to need something that you can lay down and have your projects on to protect your surfaces. Okay, then on the list we have liquid latex. Now, it's very important that you get liquid latex that is for mask making. So the two brands that I'm going to recommend are both the Monster Makers brand. This one I use most of the time. It's really good, but it's not the only brand. The other one that I recommend is Environ Molds liquid latex. I have also used their product. It is a good liquid latex for making masks. Just make sure you get the one that does say for mask making, like on the label here. These two are really great. If you get one of those little bottles that you see like at Halloween stores or any other store during the Halloween holiday, those ones are really just for doing like scars and cuts and such. It's not really good for mask making. So you really need to make sure you get one of these two brands. I'll have links in the description below for where you can buy them at. Okay, so then you're also going to need some paint to be able to give your mask some color, depending on the character, of course. I'm going to highly recommend that you get this Monster Maker's mask paint. It's latex base, and it just really sticks to the latex really well. So I do recommend that you get this. It is a little bit pricey. It's usually about $6 per bottle from their website. And some of you might not be able to afford that, just I guess depending on how many different colors you're going to do. But there are other options. Like, you can also get some acrylic paint. I will show you how to do a little bit of a mixture between the latex and the acrylic paint so that it will actually stick to your mask better. But I will say that it will work out better if you do get the Monster Maker's brand. Okay, so for when your project's completely done, the mask is all painted and sealed and ready to be removed from the sculpture, you're going to need this. You're going to need baby powder. It doesn't matter on the brand with this, as long as it's baby powder. Now, you're going to need this because latex, after it has been in liquid form and dries, it tends to be a little tacky. And if you start to try to roll it off or peel it off, before applying this baby powder to it, it will stick to itself, and it becomes impossible to remove, and then your mask will be completely ruined. So it is critical for when you're finished with your mask to get some baby powder for this. I cannot stress that enough. You will definitely need it. Brushes. Brushes and brushes and brushes. You will be needing a lot of brushes. For applying the latex to the sculpture, you're going to at least need, I'm going to say at least 25 brushes. Like I said before, this is a time-consuming project because you're adding layers, and latex, once it gets into the brushes, you can't clean it out. I have a couple of times, but it took a lot of hard work to get them clean. So it's best if you just get some very cheap disposable brushes, like over at Walmart, that are like under $1. Yeah, so just get a ton of brushes, at least 25 plus for the layers, and then even more for when you do when you start to color your latex with latex paint. Okay, so last item on the list is something I'm going to say that you don't have to have, but if you want your mask to be in top shape, to be to have the colors sealed so that they don't fade that easily, you're going to want this stuff. It's called PermaWet. It's really good for sealing in the colors. It also has a little bit of a gloss to the mask, and sometimes you want that for your latex mask. It mostly depends on what the character is and looks like, but mostly this is just to protect the hard coloring work that you've done on your mask. So I do recommend that you get it, but again, you don't have to. Okay, guys, that's just about everything on the list. Oh, actually, one thing that I am forgetting is that you are going to need measuring tape. This is the kind that you would get at fabric stores for doing measurements for fabric. Just one of those long measuring tapes. And you're going to need this for measuring your head, because this will be crucial in helping you make sure that the mask will fit your head. I'm going to be posting a video on that very soon, and then after that I will post a video of the first project. So take your time, get everything that you need at your own pace. There's no rush. I would probably suggest that you get your clay first, as well as the base, and then any sculpting tools you might need, as well as the measuring tape if you don't have any already. And then you can get everything else as the steps require. So with that, I will catch you on the next episode of Bingham Cosplay.